So, einen wunderschönen guten Abend an alle, die schon da sind. Zuallererst, bevor ich irgendwas sage, man hört mich hoffentlich gut und hoffentlich auch besser, weil, wie ihr vielleicht seht, ich habe ein bisschen Geld in die Hand genommen, nicht viel, und habe ein kleines Mikro bestellt. Kurz Feedback, ob man mich super hört, schlecht hört oder gar nicht hört. Ich gehe davon aus, man hört mich irgendwie. Das ist schon mal gut. Sehr schön. Dann fangen wir an. Wenn Feedback kommt, fangen wir an. Schreibt zumindest einer. Yes, man hört mich. Sehr gut. Sehr gut, danke, Squirrel. Dann los geht's. Also ich schaue mal in den Chat neben mir. Ich begrüße alle recht herzlich zur Episode 2 vom NFT Zoo Livestream auf Twitch. Ich habe ja die Ehre bekommen, das so ein bisschen zu übernehmen, sage ich mal. Und die zweite Woche heute. Und direkt wird es spannend. Wir haben direkt einen Gast heute aus Amerika. Also es wird heute noch Englisch. Ich hoffe, mein Englisch ist gut genug und ich hoffe, euer Englisch ist gut genug. Bevor wir loslegen, ich bin der Jonas. Viele kennen mich als GDK92. Leider habe ich damals Discord mich so benannt. Jetzt kann man sich nicht mehr umbenennen, habe ich das Gefühl. Schon kennt einen keiner mehr. Wie gesagt, ich mache alle 1-2 Wochen, ist geplant, diesen Stream hier zu machen über den NFT Zoo und über die deutsche NFT-Community. Wer beim letzten Stream nicht dabei war, geht auf YouTube, auf unseren YouTube-Channel. Da findet ihr die erste Folge. Da haben wir alles zusammen ein bisschen vorgestellt, zusammen mit dem Zoodirektor Benjamin, der das Ganze ins Leben gerufen hat. Da gibt es Infos und dann darum geht es nämlich heute nicht mehr. Heute geht es wirklich so, wir wollen ein bisschen eine Routine reinkriegen, ein bisschen Rückblick, wobei der Rückblick eher ganz gering gehalten ist, weil wir schauen nie zurück. Also eher so ein Ausblick und was gibt es so im Zoo Neues und dann, wie gesagt, um circa 10 bis 15 Minuten holen wir den Gast rein. Und dann geht es heute um House of Kibaa. Viele von euch kennen das Projekt. Wir haben im Zoo vor einer Woche knapp oder 10 Tage gab es ja den Avatar-Drop. Da haben wir einige was bekommen, doch dazu alles später mehr. Erstmal danke, dass so viele da sind wieder. Ich sehe schon einige wirklich bekannte Gesichter. Danny, wie immer, mit guter Ausdrucksweise. Sehr schön. Scrollmaster, man kennt einfach alle. Potenza, die ganzen Namen, ich finde es ja, ich freue mich schon riesig auf unser Real-Life-Treffen, weil man dann einfach mal normale Namen vielleicht auch damit verbindet. Mats, auch ein bekanntes Gesicht. Vielen Dank, dass ihr immer schon bei Top Shot früher dabei wart, wo ich gestreamt habe und jetzt auch wieder dabei seid. Das freut mich natürlich. Und ja, wo wir schon davon sprechen, mich würde es freuen, wenn ihr einfach ein Follow da lasst auf Twitch. Man kann mit einem Prime-Abo auch einen Sub da lassen. Ich sehe das leider in meiner StreamYard-Software hier nicht, wenn einer einen Sub da lässt während des Streams. Ich sehe es danach aber und ich bedanke mich immer herzlich bei den Leuten, die es machen. Supportet mich ein bisschen. Ja, Twitch ist einfach ehrlicherweise ein Arschloch, was das angeht. Man sieht eigentlich super wenig von irgendeinem Geld. Also man macht das hier nicht wegen Geld, sondern wegen Spaß. Nichtsdestotrotz freue ich mich immer, wenn es ein bisschen Support gibt. Und lange Rede, kurzer Sinn, fangen wir an. Ich habe wieder ein paar Slides vorbereitet, was ja ganz untypisch ist für mich. Aber einfach, weil es ein bisschen übersichtlicher wird. Dadurch, wenn es keine Fragen oder so gibt, dann würde ich direkt loslegen mit den Zoo-News. Also wenn jemand nicht im Zoo ist, der jetzt heute dabei ist, umso schöner. Dann wird es Zeit, dass du reinkommst in den NFT Zoo. Den Link dazu, ja, schickt bestimmt jemand rein oder einfach googeln, findet man auch mittlerweile. Ist, wie gesagt, unsere NFT-Community in Deutschland. Wir haben mittlerweile 346 Mitglieder. Ich habe vorher mal geschaut nochmal. Und letzte Woche, wenn ihr euch erinnert, waren wir bei 300 knapp. Das heißt, wir haben 46 Mitglieder in einer Woche dazu bekommen. Ist schon sensationell. Wächst. Und was sich auch immer mehr wächst, die Zubi-Token, wie wir es so schön nennen, also unser kleiner Fund, verteilt sich auf mehr Leute. Und mittlerweile sind 52 Leute im Fund Mitglieder, also sind investiert im Zoo. Und das ist natürlich auch cool. Je mehr das werden, desto cooler wird es. Und ich weiß, momentan ist es ziemlich schwer, an einen Token zu kriegen. Dazu gab es auch ein paar Details im letzten Stream. Und es werden da auch noch einige Details kommen. Wir sind gerade so ein bisschen dabei, uns auszudenken, wie man das am besten macht. Aber dazu in naher Zukunft hoffentlich mehr. Dann, was ist in den Projekten passiert? Nicht viel, um ehrlich zu sein. Letzte Woche Donnerstag, war der Riot Racer Drop. die es wissen, haben mitgemacht. Ich habe es selber auch mitgemacht. Habe einen Mechanics-Shop sogar bekommen, war ziemlich cool, weil ich in der Gruppe 2 war, also relativ früh dran war. Wer jetzt nicht weiß, wovon wir sprechen, Riot Racers wurde oft schon erwähnt hier, Autorennen auf Deutsch gesagt. Und da kommen schon die ersten Fragen. Kann man eine Warteliste für Tokens machen? Momentan nein, wir machen momentan keine Wartelisten oder sowas. Es ist wirklich momentan so, dass es, wenn einer verkaufen möchte, in unserem Discord-Channel, den wir dafür haben, bei uns Zubi, einfach reinpasten, wenn einer verkaufen möchte, und dann werden die mithilfe von Benjamin oder PZ2, dem Direktor, auch verkauft. Aber wie gesagt, das sind die Prozesse gerade ein bisschen am Arbeiten im Hintergrund, sodass es da vielleicht auch einfacher wird, Zubis zu kaufen und verkaufen. Aber es ist leider nicht ganz so einfach. Genau, weil es eben auch sehr begehrt ist momentan. Ich schaue auf die Uhr, ich muss mich ein bisschen beeilen. Ich habe unserem Gast gesagt, um 21:15 Uhr. Zu Wallet ist bei 22 Ethereum circa, hat sich wirklich nicht viel getan. Man sieht, es ist relativ stabil. Ich glaube, letzte Woche war es bei 23. Es ist immer schwer, das auszurechnen. Aber grob überschlagen bleibt es konstant. Wir haben Toiletten bestellt. Viele fanden es nicht cool, viele fanden es cool. Ich fand es auch richtig cool, weil ich daheim immer Asiletten anhab. Jetzt gibt es Toiletten bald. Ist aber raus die Bestellung. Und was ein richtig cooles Announcement war, unser Real-Life-Meeting. Habt ihr vielleicht mitbekommen, am 19.11. in Bamberg. Auch dazu gab es Details im letzten Stream. Gab es einen Sponsor. Wir haben tatsächlich jemand, oder was heißt jemand, die Royal Society of Players, ich kann mal den Link hier reinstellen, sponsern uns $750, wenn ich mich nicht täusche, für das Real-Life-Meeting. Das heißt, wir haben da eigentlich schon ein paar Getränke und vielleicht Basketball-Tickets abgedeckt. Also checkt mal das Projekt aus. Ich bin selber nicht involviert, muss ich ehrlich zugeben. Aber einige aus dem Zoo sind dabei. Was gibt es noch? Der Benjamin hat mich darauf hingewiesen, ich soll es nochmal erwähnen auch. Wir würden gerne in Guild of Guardians investieren. Ein Projekt, wo ich mich selber auch wenig bisher mit auseinandergesetzt habe. Das paste ich auch mal kurz rein. Ist ein Game und ihr wisst, es kostet immer Zeit. Können wir das wieder wegmachen, sich damit zu beschäftigen, dass man sich ja auskennt und alles. Und wir suchen jemanden, der halt so ein bisschen der Experte dafür sein möchte, weil wir eigentlich für jedes Projekt im Zoo einen Experten haben, würde ich sagen, also für jedes Projekt, in das wir investiert sind. Und ganz genau, deswegen wäre es da cool, wenn sich jemand findet oder Interesse daran hat, einfach melden. Dann schauen wir mal. Wird anscheinend belohnt mit irgendeiner Mitgliedschaft im Team vielleicht sogar. Hat der Zoodirektor durchblitzen lassen. Aber ja, also schaut es euch mal an, wenn ihr Lust drauf habt. Dann gerne melden. Dann zur großen Woche. Diese Woche, ihr merkt, ich mache ein bisschen Zeitdruck gerade schon. Aber wir haben eigentlich haben wir schon Zeit. Also alles gut. Diese Woche ist einiges los. Ich sage nur Crystals. Ich habe es hier aufgelistet. Also visuell aufgelistet mal. Die Crystals kommen endlich. Ich glaube, wir haben irgendwie 30 Crystals über die User verteilt bei uns. Und diese Woche droppen sie endlich. Nämlich morgen ist der Presale, fängt an. Und mir fällt dann nicht weiter dazu ein, als LFG zu sagen. Also Spaß beiseite, es ist wirklich hoch antizipiert, das Projekt schon ganz lange bei uns allen. Wir haben, also ich auch selber im Pre-Mint mit 2. Ihr seht, die Dinger sehen cool aus, sind ein einzigartiges Projekt bisher, da sie sich bei Verkauf und Kauf quasi verändern können in verschiedene Richtungen und Farben. Und ja, also es hat einige Effekte mit anderen Projekten und so noch. Aber würde jetzt zu krass ins Detail gehen. Die droppen morgen. Das heißt, morgen widmen wir alle Crystals. Ich habe schon wieder vergessen, wie lange wir Zeit haben dafür. Im Presale, weiß vielleicht einer spontan. Müsste ich selber nochmal nachschauen. Und was ist diese Woche noch? Kobe NFT. Ich zögere kurz, weil Kobe NFT war ein bisschen, ist ein bisschen unkoordiniert, sage ich mal vorsichtig. Ja, die haben irgendwie 1-2 Mal announced und dann wieder zurückgezogen, und weil irgendwie eine Unterschrift fehlt, wie ich es mitbekommen habe. Und auch der Grind, ich sage nur Snacks, Zeiten sind noch nicht fix bei Crystal, sehe ich gerade. Genau, sehr gut. Schauen wir mal morgen. Ich sage nur Snacks und so Geschichten, was wir da für Running Gags dann in dem Discord hatten, damit wir unsere Level kriegen bei dem Kobe NFT, um letztendlich in den Presale zu kommen und 2 Kobe-NFTs zu minden zu dürfen. Ich habe mal die Seite nochmal aufgerufen, weil ich es einfach cool fand, wie die Seite aussieht. Hier, das ist schon ziemlich bosshaft, dieser Trailer hier. Rein in die Mamba. Coming soon. Also man sieht nicht so, die Kunst ist wirklich nicht ganz so grandios wie vielleicht jetzt bei den Crystals oder anderen Projekten. Ich glaube, hier ist einfach der Hype. Dwight Howard ist mit drin, Meta World Peace ist mit drin, Kenny the Jet Smith war mit drin im Discord. Also hier sind einige Basketball famous Leute aus dem Basketballsektor mit drin. Mir fehlen die Worte gerade. Genau, deswegen könnte es wahrscheinlich, könnte es schon ganz, ganz begehrt werden. Schauen wir mal. Wie gesagt, wer im Presale ist, darf 2 minden. Bin gespannt, wann es da letztendlich losgeht. Da hängt es immer noch irgendwie im Hintergrund, weil die Einnahmen sollen an die Mambasita Sports Foundation gehen und da fehlt anscheinend noch irgendwelche bürokratischen Unterschriften, bis es dann letztendlich losgeht. Dann für mich ein wirklich persönlich großer Moment. Ihr wisst alle, ich habe mit Top Shot angefangen damals und jetzt kommt endlich der Run It Backpack, auf den alle so lange warten und der, glaube ich, richtig cool werden kann. Aber, ich sage mal ein bisschen aber, er ist relativ teuer, für das, dass es eine relativ hohe Auflage ist von 2006 Momenten. Nichtsdestotrotz gibt es richtig coole Spieler, endlich mal auf Top Shot. Also, die hätten schon länger da sein sollen, finde ich. Alter bekannter Benchpop, hello, Shoutout. Und ja, ich sag nur Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade, Shaquille O'Neal, wer war noch? Tracy McGrady, glaube ich, Ben Wallace. Und es gibt noch einige, die dazukommen. Also werden auf jeden Fall begehrte Momente sein. Und ich freue mich, dass ich in allen 3 Queues dabei sein kann. Hat sich gelohnt auf jeden Fall. So, Top Shot, die treue Seele zu wahren quasi. Ich bin immer noch sehr großer Fan von Top Shot, vor allem nach den ganzen Entwicklungen über den Sommer. Finde ich es richtig cool. Und Donnerstag ist es soweit. Donnerstag 19 Uhr, wenn ich es richtig sehe. Dürfte es so sein. Frage hier, Bold, Crystal lohnt sich bestimmt auch im Public Mint, oder? Ich gehe davon aus, auf jeden Fall. Also der Mintpreis ist 0,1. Würde mich sehr, sehr, sehr wundern, wenn das nicht auf dem zweiten Markt quasi für 0,1 geht. Die Frage ist, wie viel im Public Mint landet. So wie ich das mitbekomme, haben die ziemlich viel schon im Presale quasi einfach, also für den Presale reserviert. Da schauen wir mal, was da wirklich am Ende übrig bleibt. Aber genau, du sagst schon, du kriegst auch mit. Bei uns im Discord ganz bestimmt. Ich kann jetzt nicht versprechen, dass ich dir persönlich schreibe, aber genau, es gibt auf jeden Fall jemand Bescheid im Discord, wenn die Zeiten sind. Und Potenza sagt 60% Presale, also genau, ich glaube sogar eher noch ein bisschen mehr. Aber okay, 2 Leute sagen das schon, dann bin ich überstimmt. 60%, also 40% im Public Sale würde mich auf jeden Fall wundern, wenn die nicht ausverkauft sind. Und ist auch einfach ein cooles Projekt. Also sehen cool aus, coole Idee. Es sind wirkliche Künstler dahinter, also keine irgendwie digitalen Menschen, sondern man kann die Künstler googeln, man kann die Galleries von den Künstlern anschauen. Ist wirklich ein Interview mit denen kann man lesen. Also es scheint ein wirklich cooles Projekt zu sein. Dann Flowfest möchte ich noch erwähnen. Alle Dapper Flow-Leute. Es gibt ja mittlerweile sehr, sehr viele Projekte auf Flow, nicht nur Top Shot. Auch das schicke ich mal rein. Da gibt es nämlich ein paar interessante Punkte, wo sich jeder in Ruhe anschauen kann. Flowfest wird gehostet von unter anderem von LG Doucette, also dem Gründer von First Mint, kennen auch viele in der Szene. Und habe vorher das Podcast dazu angehört. Klingt auf jeden Fall interessant und kriegt man bestimmt einiges mit über neue Projekte und super interessanten Content. Also schaut mal rein, wenn ihr Zeit habt. Das geht morgen los. Allerdings muss man dafür, habe ich das Gefühl, immer arbeitslos sein, wenn ich die Zeit so angucke. Ne, geht sogar, oder? Ja, doch, geht schon halbwegs. Genau. Danke für den Sub, falls es wirklich war. Ich sehe es leider, wie gesagt, nicht. Aber vielen Dank dafür. Sehr schön. Dann Genau, und ich habe es noch erwähnt, Ep2 Remix Legends. Wer noch einen Affen hat und diesen Ape Remix, also die Remix-Affen hat, die gibt es jetzt diese Woche den Airdrop für die, die den gehalten haben. Ich habe es erwähnt, weil es mich betrifft. Vielleicht sind nicht mehr viele hier dabei. Und genau, das ist einfach nur eine kleine Erwähnung, weil es immer so ein bisschen auch, natürlich, was ich hier sage, erstmal kein Financial Advice, das ist ja immer so. Stimmt, hätte ich noch erwähnen müssen, muss ich mich noch dran gewöhnen. Alles kein Financial Advice hier. Aber ist auch immer so aus meiner Sicht, weil ich kriege nicht alles mit, ich kann nicht alles mitkriegen. Ich präsentiere das, was ich mitkriege und ich weiß, dass viele sich dafür interessieren. Dann versuche ich die bestmögliche Schnittmenge zu finden und es dann hier euch irgendwie aufzubereiten. So, ich sehe, unser Gast ist auch da. Wir wollen ihn gar nicht warten lassen. Wenn es keine mehr Fragen mehr gibt zu der Woche, dann würde ich einfach weitermachen mit unserem Gast und auf Englisch nämlich dann auch switchen, wenn das hoffentlich gut ist. Okay, Grant, are you ready? Awesome. Then, without further ado, I would like to introduce Grant to the stream. Hey, Grant. Thanks for joining us. Great to have you. So, first of all, thank you very much for joining the small community we have here still. But we are giving our best, as you can see, by trying to get in exciting guests like you. So
thank you. I'm extremely humbled to join. So I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, you're the first official, I would say, the first official foreign guest in the NFT Zoo stream. So
it's great.
It's a special episode for sure.
Good to hear.
So, Grant, before we get going, maybe do you want to introduce yourself? I mean, I have what I usually do with my guests is like I do some rapid fire stuff, a couple questions to get things going, and usually a bit fun. But if you want, you can introduce yourself in like a minute or so.
Yeah, I can do a quick intro and then we can do a bit of rapid fire.
Yeah.
So as you can tell, I'm Australian, but I live in New York. So I talk a little bit faster. So apologies if you're trying to catch up on my English and my accent. But I work for House of Kibaa in business development and also marketing. I've been working with House of Kibaa ever since kind of day one. We just had a really exciting launch of our tier 2 membership and our Genesis avatars. Feels like it was years ago now, but I think it was only about a week ago. So
time moves faster in this business.
Yeah, it's incredibly scary. So yeah, we came on here today to really have a chat in regards to what House of Kibaa is all about, and we'll go through those questions. But my background outside of kind of NFT space is in advertising. So I'm a strategist in an advertising agency. So that's kind of my day job. And then House of Kibaa is all other hours.
Cool, man. Cool. Yeah. So like you said, we're here to talk about House of Kibaa. Many of our users probably know the project, but I'm sure there are also some which don't know about it. So it's great to have you here, and I think we will go into details in a few minutes.
Sounds good.
But I would just say, so there's one question I always start up with, and it's a very German question, maybe.
Okay.
So are you a beer or a wine guy?
Both, but if I have to choose, I usually go beer over wine.
Okay, nice. I think Australian is more beer in general, right?
It depends. I think beer's on like the daily, and then wine's on the occasion. We do have a really good wine region as far as like in South Australia and Western Australia and parts of Victoria. But yeah, we definitely have a good wine region, but we drink more beer than probably most.
Okay.
Apart from you guys.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Today I'm not drinking beer. Actually, it's like soda. Okay. So I heard you're a big soccer guy. I mean, for Americans, usually very unusual that they are soccer fans. They usually interested in other sports. So the question is, I heard you told me in our private chat that you're a Bundesliga fan also. So
yeah,
I would like to know. Sorry, is it Bundesliga or Premier League?
Well, I look, my number one league is Premier League. I follow most of the leagues, but Bundesliga I am quite fond of, that's for sure. Most of my friends live in München, so I'm probably following Bayern if I have to. But I like the entire league. But I'm a diehard Arsenal fan, so have been for very many years. And My son's name is Henry after Thierry Henry. So
That's crazy.
yeah. So he's definitely got one of the best names. So he's King Henry. But yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm sure we also have some Bayern fans.
I'm not a Bayern fan. Dex definitely doesn't want me to be, but I don't really support anyone. I just like watching Bayern play, but I also like watching all of the different teams.
Nice. Okay, I got one more. Since you're now in New York, is it
Yes.
Knicks or Nets?
I live in Brooklyn, so it's going to have to be the Nets, and I know that that's probably a bad choice now that they have the big three, and it feels like a bandwagon. But I am a Lakers fan at heart, and have been a Lakers fan for the last 20 odd years, like 1991 or something like that. So yeah, I've always been a Lakers fan. I was a Magic guy until Kobe came, and then a Kobe guy, and then obviously now a LeBron and Anthony Davis and Westbrook, and we've loaded up this year. So hopefully we take
like an all-star team now, like a throwback all-star.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's gonna be fun. And let's see, Andy Bergkamp. I think that's also one of your favorite players. If I recall what you told me.
Yeah, I think my first year supporting Bergkamp was bought, and then Henri was bought the year after. But my son's name is definitely Henri.
Okay, nice.
Is your wife know? So my wife does. Yeah, my wife does know the origin.
I would hope so.
There was two parts of it. So one was my last name's Flannery, which is very Irish English.
Yeah.
So we had to get a name that went with Flannery. Henry does that really well, and then there was the kind of the double win for me of it being my favorite of the player. But our fisher's name is Thierry, so we've got Thierry Henry when him and the fish hang out together.
Nice, that's very cool. Okay, well, let's talk about a little bit NFT.
Yeah, let's do it.
The big question is always, how did you get into it at all? Like, how did you get into the NFT world in this crazy business we're in now?
Yeah, so I actually got into it, like most people, probably through Top Shot. So I joined in January, and I think I joined 3 days before like the dreaded January drop that everyone talks about.
Oh yeah.
So I got in and I was like, wow, this is great. Like I just bought a Jaylen Brown and a Lillard and a Tatum, and I bought them for like $60, and they were all at like $180 or $200. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. I love this. And then they went back down to like $20. I was like, I don't like this anymore. But so I got into it via Top Shot, and then from there I actually met Kibaa through Top Shot. So he has an incredible Top Shot account. I think he was a few months earlier than I was. And he has, all of the top tier LeBron moments, the cosmic and the from the top and the tribute. So him and I just kind of got talking about Top Shot, and then he started speaking about what he was planning for House of Kibaa and the vision there. And I said, oh, we should try something together. And then we kind of did one little piece together, and then decided it would be a good opportunity to see what we could make of it.
Cool. I think it turned out pretty well so far. Okay, that's nice. Well, for me also was the same. I joined in late December, Top Shot, and
wow.
Yeah, and I had no idea on what an NFT is. I felt crazy when I bought a pack for like $230. My legendary I got was like $230.
Oh wow.
And I was like, what am I doing? And then the rest is history from there on.
I think it's brought a lot of people into the space, which is amazing.
Almost like everybody I met it started up at Top Shot, which is great. I mean, shows you how much of a success it was, and still is. Yeah. Cool. So I assume Top Shot then was your first NFT. So what was actually your first, like, outside of Top Shot NFT you bought? Or
my first outside of Top Shot NFT that I bought. So I got gifted a Bored Ape.
Oh boy. That's quite lucky.
By Top Shot Fund, who is an incredible human being, and love that guy to death. But my second NFT, so the first one that I actually bought, was another ape. So I bought an ape at 0.7, I think it was, at the time, and I actually sold it way too early. I sold it for like an ETH and change, and because I was so obsessed in Top Shot at the time, I sold it for an ETH and a LeBron James Western Conference final moment. And at the time, it was a really good trade because the apes were probably about 2 to 3 ETH max at that period, and the LeBron was up around like the $9,000 or $10,000 mark, and I got an ETH, which sent like my family to Madrid, and so I was kind of loving life. And now I look back at it and I'm like, Jesus Christ! But I wouldn't trade those moments for the world, and I think that's one thing that people need to think about is like not looking back. And I think you're going to have wins, you're going to have misses, that's for sure. And some things are going to go way up after you sell, some things are going to go way down after you sell. And I think do whatever's right for you. And I think a piece of advice that Kibaa gave me was there's no point being the richest person in the metaverse because you've got in real life things to deal with. So I've always kind of worked out how to cash out when I need things. But everyone's got L's, they just don't talk about them.
Yeah, that's true. Like it's a very we always see the success stories and stuff, but you rarely hear about like the misses, which we all have. Like I had one like last week, which missed out on like 2 ETH or something. With
I've had a few of those lately, which I'm a bit frustrated about.
It's kind of frustrating, but like you said, you can look back and in the end.
Exactly. And then I think my next NFT was actually the Kibaa Genesis membership. So that was kind of the one that we were launching next, and made sure that I bought into that. And the good thing that everybody that was working on the project did was actually bought into it and paid their own money, and no one was kind of gifted anything. So it really made you feel like you were invested in the project, in the team, and you wanted to be a real part of it. So I think it was a really good move.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I have to confess, I did buy my first NFT maybe in May or something. So it's like 6 months after Top Shot. I don't know. It was like I was like, MetaMask. I have no idea of this. And ETH and here and there. And Top Shot was so easy. I think that's also a big success story of their success. Yeah, so I missed out on the House of Kibaa journalism membership and stuff, but now I at least got my avatar. Which
yes.
So speaking of House of Kibaa, for somebody maybe who doesn't know at all what it is, can you break it down in like an elevator pitch or something?
Yeah, definitely. So House of Kibaa, we're actually a design agency, and what we're trying to create is our own metaverse, which we're building at the current stage. So we are really focused on NFTs that live in augmented reality, virtual reality, and then also a version of mixed reality. And what we're trying to create is to be the hub of NFTs, and we want to add utility to other people's NFTs. So if we take, for example, a gutter cat, we have that as a 2D image. We can create and focus that into a 3D avatar, and then we can rig that avatar and make it live and breathe in an entirely new world. And that might be in a house, that might be in an actual gutter bar, that might be wherever we choose to place it, on a basketball court or something to that effect. But what we're trying to do at House of Kibaa is create digital worlds that people can interact in. And we really see NFTs being the next point of social media interaction. So you take your interaction that you might have on Twitter, and Twitter being the #1 space for this with Discord, you take those interactions that you have with anonymous people and you put them into the metaverse, and you can have much more interactive conversations. You can either still be your avatar if you want, but it can be a living, breathing type of cat or ape, or House of Kibaa avatar, or it could be a sup duck or whatever it is and who we build with. But you can have more intimate kind of conversations, and it feels like you're talking to someone as opposed to just kind of tweeting at someone. So we really see it as kind of the next frontier, and we're building our own metaverse so that we can have people to have interoperability, and allow those bored apes to hang out with cats, to hang out with basketball stars, to hang out with NFL stars, or maybe some Bundesliga stars when they get into it. But that's our plan as far as how we bring it to life. And the Gen Zeros were really focused on giving our own avatar presence, but it also gives you an access key into the metaverse for us. So When we think about a tier 2 membership, we know the Genesis memberships aren't for everybody, as far as they're quite expensive. There's only 809 of them. I think they're at about 3.5 ETH at the moment to buy in. So we wanted to create a bit more of an accessible element, but we also wanted to open up how many people could be in the House of Kibaa. So that's why we created the 10,000. But we worked with 10 different artists. Some of them have incredible backgrounds. All of them have incredible backgrounds. But you know, artists that worked on Ready Player One, artists that work on Star Wars, artists that worked in some of the biggest studios in all of kind of America and Hollywood. And we essentially created 10 factions. So you can see different versions of the art here. But those 10 factions were essentially dissipated, and there was a battle for supremacy, and no one won, basically. So what happened was, those were the Gen Zeros, and that's what it created, and it created these avatars. And then from that, we're kind of rising up from the ashes with what we've called Gen X. So we're creating a story around how these came to life, what they're going to be, and your avatar will actually become its own individual story, either in the metaverse or beyond. And we plan to give all of these characters backgrounds, and we plan to give the factions backgrounds as far as how the story begins. And you really kind of thrive off battle and beating people and taking their energy and increasing your energy and your weapons and everything else kind of that we're bringing to life in here. And we will also add things like trading. We will add things like buying insane weapons where you can take out a whole battalion or whatever it is. So that was our plan, to really welcome more people in, but also to have more of a presence. You know, the avatar, the kind of thumbnail that we have for our Genesis NFT is not exactly kind of avatar ready as such, as far as like a nice little Twitter element, but these are, so you can scale them nicely, and we can have our brand in more places, and people can share these and build their own story around them. So that was the plan.
Cool, man. That sounds like I mean, always when I hear those things, it's like very hard to imagine, right? So, because it just has never been done before, so we don't know how it will look or how it will feel, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so we've done a couple of little videos on here on our Twitter as well, where we did one which is showing you guys what the metaverse will actually look like. So here's some of the 3D renders. So that's how they'll look in the actual metaverse. They do look a bit different to the 2D elements, and we're building those at the moment. We've built majority of them so far, but we're just kind of bringing those together, so it feels much more like a story and world. And then what we're planning on doing is, there's some other 3D elements there as well. But we did do a conservatory video where we had an ape that we put into kind of first-person virtual reality and walking through a conservatory that all of our members will get. And we will also allow them to kind of be in this house, which you can see here, which is the Gutter Cat Gang that we're creating. And then I think further down, you'll be able to see some of the Gutter Cat Gang elements that we made as well. But the Gen Zero videos are probably the best ones as far as how these will come to life. So I think, this one shows a little bit of what the interaction might be, and how some of the avatars could potentially look, but we're releasing those at the moment. So it will be very much, gameplay type style. It will be very much people fighting. We're currently on Unreal 4, but we're moving to Unreal 5. So the graphics will get even better than they currently are, which we're excited about. And we're also looking at how we increase our presence globally as far as House of Kibaa and who we are and what that means. So we're very excited that we're continuing to build and grow and showing people what we're all about.
Very nice. I mean, that looks
I think that video that you've got there might be the best one. If you can, I don't know whether you can make it full screen or not. If people want to see that one, it's probably the best.
Whoa, there's even sound in it. So
so this is just an example of some of the 3D elements and the battles that you can have.
Very exciting.
So that's your avatar essentially.
that's how I will look at my avatar then once it's ready. Do we have a timeline on this? Like, what do you guys expect from when I
Yeah,
will?
so we're looking at doing a beta metaverse in the next month to 2 months.
Okay.
As far as that'll probably be with the Cat gang and some of our members in the avatars of House of Kibaa, but we're still working through exact timelines on that. We're scaling as fast as we possibly can, both in people working for us, and then also the servers that we have and the hardware and everything else that we need to make sure that this is running perfectly. But yeah, we're looking at kind of the next month to 2 months. And then in kind of early 2022, around March time, we'd look to make it a bit more open as far as getting more people in. So when we say beta, we mean that there'll be a maximum of 50 people at any given time.
Yeah.
And that can obviously change per second as people drop in and out, but that'll be kind of the plan to have 50 at one time.
Nice. And I said, like you said, a couple of the main projects you focused on are obviously the Bored Apes and Gutter Cats. You also said Top Shot Moments. Did I hear Top Shot Moments there?
I mean, look, we would definitely be open to working with those guys without a doubt. We love Dapper, and that's how we kind of all came together and created this company. So, and Roham is actually a member who was probably one of the first 10 Genesis members actually to really support us and get behind us as House of Kibaa. And his tweet of signing up really helped us kind of get a lot more members as well.
Bet,
So
yeah.
we're grateful to him. But I mean, a few of the key ones that you mentioned, we did some work for Bored Apes. It was an unofficial partnership. We've done an official partnership with Gutter Cat Gang, for all 4 species. So we're building that out at the moment. We've got some work coming out with Electric Token and Zaire Wade, who's Dwayne Wade's son.
Yeah.
We're also working with LaMelo Ball and creating a LaMelo Ball universe. So that should be coming out shortly. And a couple of others that we can't mention just yet. But it should be a lot of fun. I think the challenge for us at the moment definitely isn't people wanting to do stuff with us. I think it's just making sure that we're choosing the right collaborations, and also that we can deliver to the quality that we want. I think that's always the key thing that we go through is, a lot of people can put things out there, but we want to make sure that everything we put out there is the highest quality.
Yeah, which is great, I think. I mean, we saw in Top Shot how difficult it can be to like get ahead of yourself, and then so it's nice, very nice. I mean, it sounds super exciting. I'm definitely keep sticking to my Genesis avatar. And what I was wondering personally is like from an outside view, when I'm not a Genesis member yet, is it still worth it to get in Genesis membership, or would you say like, yeah, we basically missed the entry point when we weren't so early?
The best way, I mean, the best way I can kind of not sell it to you, but if you are interested in Genesis membership, so the key benefits are that you get lifetime drops. So an airdrop every single month, and that could either be from one of our partners or that could be directly from us, and we'll do more drops from us in the future. We are looking at things like staking as far as our membership. We are looking at things like free trades within platform, and a bunch of other elements that we're kind of hoping will help the Genesis members feel the love from us beyond just the kind of lifetime drops that they do get. And there will be special things that only members get access to. So for example, there might be Ask Me Anything where they get information before other members, or there might be a DAO or something created in the future if legally we can do things like that. So we're looking at how we reward them. So it is a much more, a bigger buy-in. The original buy-in was $500.
Yeah.
And now it's anywhere up to kind of $10,000 to $12,000. So I think the people that bought in at 500 are incredibly happy.
Yeah, we do have a few here, maybe even.
Yeah.
I know for a few Germans, they have a membership, so.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, the 10K buy-in is a little bit steep for a lot of people, which is the reason we created the avatars. So we want to make sure that we're accessible for everybody. But
now they're sitting at 0.08, so definitely accessible now.
Yeah, and that's been going kind of between roughly that price and anywhere up to 0.2 at varying stages. I think we've had a few different washes, but
I mean, the volume traded is incredible so far.
And I think
like 10 days ago or something. So
I think people are starting to realize the different traits and what they mean, and also as we start putting more of the 3D elements out into the world and showing everybody kind of what we're building, I think that'll definitely help.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Now I'm even more excited. Now I hear that all. I got one question for you, maybe more of, to your position, like from a marketing standpoint. What do you guys have? Like, what do you especially have planned? Is it like, are you more focused on? And don't tell me you're focused on the Discord invite chill stuff, which is happening right now. I don't think you are.
I mean,
what's the strategy there?
So we've always been quite, focused on just building our community in a very organic way. So we actually haven't put anything into marketing as far as cost at the moment, but we will be very much ramping that up. Whether we do more videos, whether we do more spaces, whether we do more kind of faces in the NFT world, or whether we do some traditional type of advertising, whether that's like a billboard type thing or whether that's more online advertising. But now that we're kind of set our position as far as what the House of Kibaa brand is, and then the subsidiary and around Gen X, we can really bring those to life, and we've got something that we can put anywhere. So I think for us, this is the time where we're ramping that up. We've hired more social media people. We've hired more Discord people. We've kind of rearranged our Discord between members, between Gen X and then general public. And we've given access to both Gen X and also Genesis members to our previous AMA, which there's lots of juicy details in there if you guys want to listen to that as far as what our future plans are and what's just happened. So I think for us it'll be more organic growth, obviously, but also looking at how we get into the right places. And there's lots of events coming up within America that we can have a presence at.
Right. Isn't the Bored Ape conference next week or so? I think.
NFT NYC is over the next couple of weeks. I know that the Bored Apes are going to have a presence there for kind of a week. I know that Guttercat's going to have something. We might be there. I can't confirm or deny just yet, but I mean, I'll definitely be there. I live in New York, so I can't not go.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're going to make sure that we're kind of chatting to the community and finding out what people are after and those types of things, and making sure that we're listening and building whilst everybody else is kind of talking about different things. We want to make sure that we're the ones that are constantly building. So it should be a lot of fun. But we'll see what events are coming up.
Yeah, it's for us. It's always a little bit tough. I mean, we are on some sort of our island over here.
Yeah,
I feel like 99% of the NFT world is based in the US. Probably, at least that's what it feels like for us.
Yeah, we do apologize for making all of our drops at 2 or 3 a.m. for you guys. And
we had some members staying awake or setting alarms.
It's very hard, I know, and I have a lot of friends, obviously, back in Australia who go through a very similar thing. Like all of the Top Shot pack drops are at like 4 a.m.
don't even start.
Or 5 a.m. So I mean, I know it's very hard, but I think it's just so hard to get like a time that works for everybody, I think.
It's tough.
I think you go where the main kind of hub is, I guess, and that's usually
obviously
in America. So
it's a business. I wouldn't do it any other way. It's just the main business in the US. Cool. So very exciting stuff. I have a couple more if you have a couple more.
Of course. I have another 5 or 10. Yeah.
Cool. So what I would like, but many people are also maybe wondering is like, is it when would you say the whole House of Kibaa project is a success for you, or is it already a huge success for you guys, or do you have certain like targets you want to hit where you say, okay, now we made it, or now that's a huge success for us?
I mean, look, I think we've been successful. Do we think we've made it? By no stretch of the imagination. Do we ever think that? Probably not. I think we're humble enough people to know that we're going to have to continually build and continually update. I don't think there'll be a point where we go, we've 100% made it. I think we'll see successes along the way, and this most recent launch was probably one step in the right direction. And a couple of other things that are kind of happening that you can find out in the AMA are definitely good steps in the right direction. But yeah, I don't think this will be ever finished. I think we take solace in celebrating the wins along the way, but we know that tomorrow's a new day and there's new expectations and there's probably something new launched or 10 new things launched. So there's no time to kind of rest on your laurels as far as what we're building. So little successes, and we're very happy, but we know that we've got a lot of work ahead of us.
Great stuff, man. Okay, last question for you. Where do you see this whole space in like 3 years, and also the House of Kibaa project in like 3 years?
This is a big question. I mean, I think, I see the whole space in 3 years being much more mass adopted. I don't think that we'll get to like full mass adoption. I think we'll have much more people in and interacting and understanding the value of NFTs that they can bring. And then I think as far as House of Kibaa in 3 years, we'll definitely have set ourselves up as a global brand and a global design agency. And we would have brought the metaverse to life. We would have been building. We will have multiple metaverses within. We might be looking at creating films. We might be looking at developing backstories around characters. We might be, trying our best to become a Marvel-esque type company at the same time. So I think, we've got big plans as far as how we want to bring this to life and who we want to partner with and where we go to from there. But we definitely, are taking baby steps, and we're taking it one day at a time and making sure that we're, doing things in a calculated fashion and not getting caught up in some of the, hysteria or some of the good things that are happening. Because as you say, like, it's very easy to, have a lot of ETH dropped in your lap and then, burn that ETH pretty quickly. We're quite responsible with what we do and how we're going to give that back to members and what we want to continue building. So, we're playing the long game. But in the next 3 years, I would definitely say that we're evolving as far as beyond just the metaverse.
Cool, man. That sounds very responsible. Super. Okay, cool. I mean, a lot of the questions I had for you came from our community, so I collected them the last couple of days. So
cool.
Don't wonder if they don't shoot a lot of questions down the chat. I mean, Grant, it's been very super exciting to talk to you.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it. If there's anything in the chat, I'm just trying to look.
I asked if anyone has any more question. There was where to buy a membership, but we got that figured out. Staking was the question. If I wanted to fly to New York, no, I don't fly to New York. I mean, we are legally not even allowed to.
Unfortunately.
There's one question now coming in. How can you expect people to participate in the secondary event? We have to outline this page.
Yeah, I mean, I think just to answer that question, I would definitely go into the Discord. We released the roadmap for Gen X just yesterday, I think. So if you haven't had a chance to get in there, we've definitely done that. We've built the traits. We've actually updated the Gen Zero's website. So that has a lot more information. So that should help you out as well as far as what the utility will be. And then also, so you can see some of the stuff here. We're creating an app which will allow you to play a game. So we're really trying to build that through, but you might not have had the chance to see this just yet. But the plan is that we'll have game development, we'll have mobile app development, so you can play anywhere and any time. But you'll also have access to things like the private Discord. You will have access to pre-sales, some of our partner drops, some of our drops. We're definitely building that as far as what the utility is. And as far as the traits and rarities, unfortunately, we're all at the beck and call of rarity tools. We have sent all of our data. We have sent all our images. The problem with having 10 to 15 drops per day is that everybody wants to get them up at one point. So we're just waiting, and they'll be up very soon. But I would focus on energy traits if I were you.
Ooh, that's a secret hint here in the stream. Nice. I like it. Thank you so much, Grant. I mean, it's been really nice. As our first guest, I hope we have many more in the next weeks, and maybe you even tune in again. I mean, we probably
definitely, I'll
in English, and I hope we will grow, continue to grow. But thank you so much for your time. I know it's like in the middle of the day now in New York, so even thanks. And I think the chat is also very thankful. A lot of thanks, a lot. Yeah, man. And then I wish you a happy Monday, and I think chat to you in another time.
Yeah, definitely. Anything you guys need, obviously feel free to reach out. You can find me on Twitter. My name is Grant Pat on Twitter. So if you're on a DM or you want to follow or all that kind of jazz, or find me on Discord as well. I think it's all a similar name. But yeah, thanks for having me on, and thanks for everybody listening a little bit about Kibaa, and we'll make sure that we share out the recording as well.
Yes, this will also be on YouTube. So if anybody wants to miss the beginning or something, it will be on YouTube tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, and we'll share that out from House of Kibaa, and we'll share that out from personal channels as well.
Cool, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Have a good day. Bye.
So, das war nochmal richtig cool. Awesome interview will follow you. Mein Kopf, Deutsch, Englisch. Nee, so cool. Ich hoffe, Englisch war okay für alle. Der Kollege, ich habe mit ihm schon vorher ein bisschen gechattet. Er ist einfach super nice, wie dafür gemacht, finde ich. Er weiß, wovon er spricht. Und ich hoffe, euch hat es allen gefallen. Es geht noch weiter hier. Es gibt noch ein Giveaway. Nicht abhauen jetzt alle. Es gibt noch das große Giveaway, das ich letzte Woche vergessen habe. Ich wollte nur nochmal, genau, einfach super nice von Grant als erster Gast bei uns quasi. Jetzt, genau, Gäste bin ich schon wieder dran, die nächsten zu planen, aber schauen wir mal, wann der nächste klappt. Das war auf jeden Fall der Anfang jetzt. Ich denke, es war richtig cool. House of Kibaa, ich persönlich, als ich es mir näher anguckt habe, vor ein paar Wochen, als der Rumo, der gerade auch zuschaut, mich darauf gebracht hat, wie auf so viel. Ich hatte es nämlich null auf dem Schirm. Wie gesagt, NFT ist bei mir auch noch nicht ganz so lang her. Habe ich es mir angeschaut und fand es auch richtig cool. Und deswegen dachte ich auch, ist es sehr, sehr passend, da jemanden zu kontaktieren. Ich mag Projekte mit Utility. Ich mag Projekte, die eine gewisse Vision haben, wo ich technologisch davon fasziniert bin, als Informatiker vielleicht auch ein bisschen gebiased hier. Aber ich mag sowas einfach. Und das war mein Grund, warum ich dabei geblieben bin bis jetzt. Ich werde meinen Avatar auf jeden Fall behalten auch, weil ich einfach excited bin, um zu sehen, was noch kommt. Und Danny Parker muss raus, verpasst das Giveaway natürlich, schade. In diesem Sinne kommen wir noch zum kleinen Giveaway. Also Giveaways werden hauptsächlich von der Community gestellt. Wenn ich schon so viel Zeit und alles investiert, dann kann ich nicht auch noch meine Top-Shot-Momente und was weiß ich weggeben. Also an der Stelle vielen Dank an Chris. Er weiß, wer er ist. Er hat 2 Top-Shot-Momente zur Verfügung gestellt, die wir hier wegraffeln können. Einmal Markieff Morris mit einer ziemlich coolen Serial. Markieff Morris, einer meiner most hated Players, aber tut jetzt hier nichts zu sein. Und der andere ist ein Donovan Mitchell. Bam, nicer Jam. Und ja, einfach als kleines Dankeschön, dass ihr alle eingeschaltet habt wieder, würde ich gern die noch weggeben, bevor wir dann wirklich zum Ende kommen. Wir wollten ja immer bei einer Stunde bleiben, das passt perfekt. Und wie es funktioniert, ihr kennt wahrscheinlich alle den Nightbot. Da sehe ich euren Chat. Da kann ich gewisse Sachen einstellen, das ich aber nicht mache. Und genau, da ist jeder nimmt dran teil, der in den letzten 5 Minuten geschrieben hat. Und wir brauchen ein Keyword. Sollen wir ein Keyword nehmen oder nicht? Ne, wir machen einfach Active Users. Deswegen würde ich einfach mal alle, die am Giveaway teilnehmen möchten, es geht um den Markieff Morris, die jetzt bitte irgendwas hier reinschreiben. Hi, hallo, schade, da sind sie gleich alle. Und genau, das ist eine witzige Story. Tatsächlich hat zweimal in der Vergangenheit meine eigene Freundin gewonnen. Die hat den Moment bis heute nicht erhalten und wir haben damals gereraffelt. Also wird hoffentlich heute nicht passieren. Einfach, jetzt weiß auch jeder, dass Rumo meine Freundin ist. Nein, einfach jetzt mal irgendwas schreiben. Wir haben gar nicht so viele User, die eligible sind. 12 momentan, 13. Und dann würde ich den einfach rollen. Und da wir 2 haben, ist die Chance relativ hoch, dass man heute was gewinnt. Also es ist anscheinend schon alles. Wir haben eigentlich noch 30 Zuschauer, aber nur 12 Leute, die eligible sind. Machen wir hier mal 13 draus. Vielleicht habe ich auch was falsch eingestellt. Ich hoffe, es geht. Das stimmt, ja. Benny ist leider im Urlaub, der Zoodirektor ist im Urlaub. Aber jetzt rollen wir das Ding hier. Wir haben 13 User. Der Marquise Morris geht an Basti 2118. Sehr schön. Den schreibe ich mir mal auf. Wenn Basti 2118, wenn dein Topshot-Name brauche ich, dann wird der dir geschickt in nächster Zeit. Das geht über den Chris, wie gesagt, der hat es zur Verfügung gestellt. Und den anderen Moment, den ruffeln wir auch noch weg. Donovan Mitchell. Nochmal alle rein fleißig schreiben. Es sind 12 Leute hier, die aktiv am Chat teilnehmen. Wir ruffeln nochmal. Wo ruffle ich neu? Ach, das ist die Technik, ey. Restart Giveaway. Nee, ich will nicht Restart. Kann ich nicht. Ja, naja, mal gucken, was bei Restart passiert. 3, 2, 1, bam. Herr Falkenstein, auch ein bekanntes Gesicht. Nice. Auch an dich. Schreib mir im Discord am besten oder ja, hier geht es vielleicht unter. Kurz dein Topshot-Name, dann kriegst du einen Donovan Mitchell. Glückwunsch. So. Und das ist eine Punktlandung, 1 Stunde. In diesem Sinne, denkt an den Follow auf Twitch auf jeden Fall. Würde mich freuen. Und ansonsten bleibt mir nur zu sagen, schaltet nächste Woche wieder ein. Eigentlich wollte ich nächste Woche Pause machen. Vielleicht mache ich Pause. Aber ich habe einen ziemlich coolen Gast. Wenn das was wird, dann mache ich keine Pause. Teaser. Also nächste Woche lohnt sich mindestens genauso sehr, wenn es klappt. Wenn nicht, dann ist nächste Woche Pause. Aber alles im Discord. Ich wünsche allen einen schönen Abend. Bleibt sauber und wir sehen uns im Zoo und im Stream. Bis bald. Macht's gut.